The UFC's lightweight division has been home to many of the sport's most renowned fighters. Above them all stands a man who not only claimed the gold belt, but remained undefeated throughout his career. Undoubtedly, one of the most dominant competitors in the sport, the man nicknamed the Eagle, overcame every challenge set before him inside the cage. Though he may never return to the octagon, Khabib Nurmagomedov's legacy is already written in the history books. This is the story of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov was born on September 20th, 1988, in the village of Sildi, nestled in the mountains of Dagestan, Russia. He grew up in a fighting family. His father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, was a coach and mentor who served in the military before becoming a coach in the martial art called Sambo. Abdulmanap was a highly respected coach, listed in the Russian Book of Records for training and coaching the largest number of champions in martial arts. Like many children in Dagestan, Khabib trained from a very young age. When he was just 7 years old, his father and 3 uncles moved all their sons into the same house in the Dagestan capital, Makhachkala. 16 boys lived and trained together, with no women in the house. One of the most legendary stories from his childhood includes the moment when his father made him wrestle a small bear at the age of 9 to build character and strength. In 2005, Khabib followed in his father's footsteps by competing in martial arts, including Sambo. Around the same time he debuted in MMA, Khabib won gold at the World Sambo Championships in 2008 and 2009. He continued to build his experience in martial arts outside of MMA while competing in his first professional fights. Martial arts were not Khabib's only chosen path. He became the Eurasian hand-to-hand combat champion, European pankration champion, and North American grappling champion. From his MMA debut in September 2008 to October 2011, Khabib compiled a record of 16-0, competing exclusively in Russia and Ukraine. With an undefeated record in all his accomplishments outside the cage, Khabib signed a contract with the UFC and debuted in January 2012. Facing Kamal Shaloris, Khabib opened his UFC account with a third-round submission victory. After a close fight with Gleison Tibau and a first-round finish against Thiago Tavares, Khabib was assigned a tougher opponent in Abel Trujillo. Despite not making weight for the fight, the Eagle overcame this obstacle impressively, setting a UFC record for the most takedowns in a single fight with 21. Khabib followed that victory with another against Pat Healy in September 2013, building a 5-fight win streak in the UFC. Unfortunately, after a brilliant start to his UFC career, Khabib's momentum was abruptly halted by long-term injuries. Khabib had several fights with Donald Cerrone fall through, as well as a fight with Tony Ferguson. His return to the octagon was scheduled for April 2016, almost 2 years since his last fight. Again, the bout was set with Ferguson, but it eventually fell through, leaving Nurmagomedov to face late replacement Daryl Horcher, whom he defeated relatively easily. After years of waiting, Khabib finally got his shot at UFC Gold at UFC 223. For the 4th time, a fight with Tony Ferguson was arranged, but was cancelled again due to Ferguson's injury. After a few potential opponent changes that also fell through, Khabib faced lightweight veteran Ali Aquinta, dominated the fight, and became the first Muslim to win a UFC title. Though it was a historic moment for Khabib, the achievement was overshadowed by Conor McGregor's notorious bus attack a few days earlier. The attack was in retaliation after Khabib slapped Conor's teammate in a hotel lobby, escalating their rivalry to a whole new level. With this animosity came the biggest fight in UFC history. After years of anticipation, the highly anticipated match between Conor and Khabib was scheduled for UFC 229 in October 2018. The event currently ranks 3rd in all-time pay-per-view sales and saw Khabib reach new levels of fame after defeating his most intense rival with a 4th-round submission. Here, Khabib became one of the sport's biggest stars and the most followed Russian on Instagram, partly due to his role in the UFC's biggest rivalry, but also because of his actions after the fight. Unwilling to bury the hatchet after his victory, Khabib jumped over the fence and attacked McGregor's teammate Dylan Danis, sparking a mass brawl among teams and fans inside and outside the cage. Despite his remarkable achievement, Khabib received a 9-month suspension for his behavior and did not fight until September 2019, when he defeated Dustin Poirier. Khabib was then set to defend his title in April 2020 against Tony Ferguson at UFC 249, but was withdrawn due to travel restrictions amid the coronavirus pandemic. Gaethje, another lightweight contender, took the fight against Ferguson and won, securing a bout with Khabib for the title in October 2020. In the midst of his training camp for this fight, Khabib's father passed away due to complications from COVID-19, leaving his fighting future in uncertainty. However, Khabib overcame his circumstances and defeated Gaethje by submission in the second round at UFC 254, announcing his retirement immediately after the fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov's incredible story encompasses not only his undefeated career in the UFC, but also his impact outside the octagon. He was the first Muslim to win a UFC title, and his dominance inside the cage was unparalleled. Though his rivalry with Conor McGregor may be one of the most well-known in sports history, Nurmagomedov also stood out as a role model outside of martial arts, emphasizing the importance of discipline, dedication, and honor. His influence on the MMA community is still felt, and his journey from Dagestan to the top of the UFC will remain an inspiration for many generations of fighters to come. Though his fighting career is over, Khabib's legacy lives on through his promotion, Eagle Fighting Championship, which creates new contenders for the UFC. Khabib has become a symbol of fighting spirit, an inspiration for many, and a true fighter in every sense of the word. His story is proof that perseverance, work, and discipline can lead to top achievements. If you enjoyed this story about Khabib Nurmagomedov's life and career, don't forget to subscribe to our Life Warriors channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.